Greetings, everyone. It is the Hopeless Fan Podcast, November 10th, year of our Lord 2022. Shelby and Zach is here. No Scotty.
He's still in Mexico.
He's in Cancun on his honeymoon. Clap it up for Scotty and his honeymoon. He's having a great time down there. I know he's drunk because he starts tweeting.
Well, yeah. Plus, he said he's been like, I switched to doubles and it changed my life.
Yeah.
I was like, that's more alcohol.
Yeah.
It usually makes you feel better until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't. But yeah, he's in Cancun hoping he has a great time there. But we had his wedding last Friday. That was a great time. A lot of dancing, a lot of tears, a lot of love, a lot of matrimony.
Great wedding.
Great wedding. Yeah, very fun. Kind of glad it's over.
I love Scotty. I'm in love with Scotty's brothers.
Oh my God, I know. And Jonathan.
Right. That's what
I'm more in love with Jonathan than his brothers. But like, I love Tommy the most. And Steven's a very close second.
Yeah.
Tommy's just hilarious. And Jonathan is like, I love those two together. But we had the fun table. I think it's clear that we had the fun table at the wedding. Food was good.
Steven's kid is adorable.
Oh my God, yeah.
I was like, how did this ugly little piece of shit happen? I'm just kidding. Steven, if you're listening, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's not. But yeah, it was fun. Good DJ. I got drunk. I didn't have any of the cake. So how was it?
I didn't have any either.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Jenna
Bad of me to assume.
Sorry, I'm surprised you. What is it? Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off? You're a cake guy, aren't you?
So before
bake-off. That'd be a bake-off, I guess.
It was a cook-off, yeah. Okay. Before we recorded, Zach said, Shelby, do you still have my Disney Plus login? I said, I used it 2 years ago to watch Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off, and that was it. And because 30 seconds earlier, I had called Game of Thrones stupid. So...
Okay.
But Eddie's $1 Million Cook-Off's good. Start with Stan and Bunk. By the way, Boardwalk's going to be a mess now because we have ties. Except you. You don't have any. I had 2 last week.
Oh, boy.
Rams and Falcons.
Zacky Pushes has
exactly.
It's been a long time.
It, yeah.
It's been a long time.
You were Zacky Pushes. I forgot about that.
Yeah. I had like 5 ties.
Yeah. All right. Stan and Bunk. Sack.
What do you want me to do first? Stan or Bunk? Let's go. Okay, let's go with Stan. This weekend. Action-packed weekend for me. We talked about it before.
Me too.
But yeah,
I have plans now.
Yeah, you do. And
Zach and I are having a sleepover.
Yep. Nothing funny. We'll see. We'll get there. So yeah, tomorrow, Black Panther 2: Wakanda Forever is out. It's got really good. It's certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes, so that's good because the last couple Marvel movies that have come out, it's been a little bit. Some people not so happy with it, but it's good to see return to a solid score. So that's cool. Got a concert on Saturday.
Before you move on about the movie, I know nothing about these, but
that's fair.
Is that the one where the guy who played Jackie Robinson was
Chadwick
in it, who passed away?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. R.I.P.
He was in the first.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's going to be great. And then concert Saturday. Come home. Hang out with Shelby.
All right, he included it. Good.
Yep, hanging out with Shelby. I'm actually looking forward more to that than the concert now.
Don't blame you.
I've seen this band several times. I've seen you several times too. But and then Sunday we got a full ass slate, man.
Let it be known you were shitting on this slate, though.
That's true. That's true. It's just because I was looking at it. I usually when I shit on a slate, it's because I can't see the board.
Yeah.
There's value there somewhere. There's value every week.
Once you start hearing stuff, once you start seeing stuff, listening to stuff.
That's my problem. Is I look at how much I lost in a week, and then I'm like, all right, next week I got to get it back. And you go look at the slate. You have with no information. You're like, I hate all these picks.
Right.
I was like, well, you haven't done the research yet,
right.
dummy.
And I got to be up for this 9:30 game. Tampa and Seattle.
Oh yeah.
In Germany, Munich. My stand. Political ads are over.
Thank God.
Yeah. No more taxing Tim Ryan stuff and no more guys throwing footballs at TVs.
Yeah, well, we're not a political podcast. It's all right.
I don't remember what JD Vance's like weird face and like his kitchen.
It's just we have a senator who's from Middletown. How does that make you feel?
That's tough. Shitty football team. But
name 3 other things about the city of Middletown.
No thanks. Their mascot is the Middies.
What is that?
I don't know.
What is it? What does the person on the sideline dress up as? Just they're in a block
They've
M?
never been good enough to go to one of their games.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew one person at Dayton Christian when I was there that went to Middletown, and he used to play on the team, and he was like a starter, and then he came and played with us, and he wasn't very good, and I was like, oh, yeah, they probably suck.
A midi is plural. What the hell? It's like a measurement is when I Googled it.
Oh, yeah. I think it's just coming off of their name, like, we're the middies. We're mid.
We're mid. All right, my bunk. It's pretty obvious. It's getting dark early.
This is really annoying.
It was, it hit like right after Scotty's wedding. Even though like the night after Scotty's wedding, I went to bed at like 7 o'clock. So I slept like 13 hours going into Sunday.
The night after his wedding? Sunday night?
Saturday
night?
Yeah. I went to bed at like 7 o'clock because I woke up. I woke up at like 11:30, went down and watched highlights of LSU Bama.
Oh, I stayed up to watch the UCLA game.
Yeah. LSU Bama, that was a good one. And then went to bed again.
Great cover.
And then that fed into another bunk of mine, which was...
Yeah, I've got a bunk.
Historic performances, which was Joe Mixon scoring 5 touchdowns at a game I was at.
Yeah.
And then me playing you in fantasy. So it was like...
This was definitely like the embodiment of Jets versus Bills, our matchup, because there's no reason I should have won that game.
Well, I got lucky because I was like, usually with your team at least, it was like if the quarterbacks don't just blow your doors off you, Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen.
Right, then like, if they don't score 40 points each, I'm fucked.
Yeah, so that was another bunk when I checked the Bills Jet stats. It was like Josh Allen
24.
No, I didn't check the fantasy matchup. I checked their stats, and Josh Allen had like barely 200 yards and 2 picks. Then I scroll down, he had 86 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Well, I had over 2.5 passing touchdowns for him, so that kind of sucked.
3 away.
Yeah,
those are plus money ones though.
But he ran for 2. That's why it's frustrating. It's like you could have just as easily thrown for him because it's not like he broke a 50-yarder and scored a touchdown. And then let's see. So my bunk is going to staying on the betting stuff, bad beats, and all that. My bunk is going to be the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Go into that.
Yeah, so yesterday morning, Scotty and I are in the lab putting together some parlays. I said, I'll touch mine if you touch, you touch mine if I'll touch yours. No,
I'll touch mine if you touch yours.
So he had a 4-teamer and I put a 3-teamer together, and both of them had the Grizzlies in it. He was like, "Oh, sweet, we took it. Now the Grizzlies are going to be the problem." Like, so the first couple games start, the Nuggets looked dead in the fucking water, and then they came roaring back and they win in regulation. All right, cool. The other one was Portland. They ended up pulling out against Charlotte. It was a little dice there for a little bit, but second half it was all Portland. So I was like, all right, first 2 down. That's Scotty's first 2 down, out of the way. Third one was Grizzlies. And then the fourth one was going to be Cleveland at the end of the night at like 10 o'clock.
Yeah, playing in Sacramento.
Right. And that was Scotty's. Mine was the who played the Rockets? It was close, but it wasn't. Oh yeah, the Raptors, the Bucks, and the Grizzlies.
Bucks over the Thunder.
The Thunder, yeah. Right. And the Grizzlies were playing the Spurs. And all of them, we realized after we placed them, all away games.
Yeah, that was the last message I saw because I was busy last night. And then
they were all away games.
I saw that. The last message I saw was, all away teams, what could go wrong? And I'm like, oh, no.
So, back to Scotty's parlay. First 2 legs hit. Great. Grizzlies were winning in the driver's seat for a while. Then it got close in the third, stayed close through the fourth, and the Grizzlies kind of pulled away. Then the Grizzlies gave it away at the end where they had an inbounds pass that was deflected. They tie the game going to overtime. And then... as that overtime is coming to a close, it looks like they're gonna run away with it. Again, blow the lead, goes to double overtime, and right around the same time, the Bucks blew their lead, and now they're going to overtime. Yeah, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has 37 points in regulation. Hit his over points, by the way. Shout out Trent. So those 2 go to overtime, and it's like 10:15. I got to get up early. I'm like, just let me die already. Both Bucks and the Bucks on a miracle end up forcing a second overtime with Brook Lopez a chance to win it at the line, misses the first one with 0.2 seconds left, hits his second free throw to tie it. They win it in double overtime. I'm like, all right, now we just need Cavs, and I look at the score, they're down like 19. I'm like, oh great, I'm just going to sleep. So I woke up and then they lost. But I hit the other parlay, so I ended up winning like $9.
Yeah, that's all you can ask for, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you win one of them.
Yeah. Just wasn't the one worth more money.
Right, yeah. Okay, go into Stardom Situms. Why don't you start with your Stardom?
My Stardom is movie trailers. We got a couple of pretty dope movie trailers, namely Atlas. No humping. Go away.
No problem.
Namely today, we finally got the John Wick 4 trailer. Have you watched the John Wick movies?
No.
You're not into. Okay. Yeah. So we got that, and then let me go. Sorry, I got to go back to IMDb really quick. That's my bad. Should have had this ready to locked and loaded here. We got that. We got a trailer for The Whale. Which is a Darren Aronofsky movie with Brendan Fraser that's gotten a lot of buzz. I've been looking forward to that. I'm getting really excited for that one. And then, what was that other one? Yeah, I Want to Dance with Somebody, the biopic about Whitney Houston.
Oh,
yeah,
I'll do that.
I know. So I'm looking forward to that as well. I love me some Whitney. And like the screen grab for the trailer is her doing the halftime national anthem, greatest national anthem. Yeah, greatest national anthem ever sung, in my opinion. So that's my Stardom.
Okay, nice. My Stardom is, so last time we recorded, it had already Halloween had already passed, but I see a big, like, going into especially Starbucks with the cups, Kroger, it goes straight into Christmas right after Halloween. So I was wondering if you were that type where as soon as Halloween ends, it's straight on to Christmas, or...
My Halloween lights are still up, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, I get... how long your Christmas light's going to be up. But I just wondered if you were the type to be like, okay, it's Christmas, like, as soon as Halloween ends, you're thinking on to Christmas presents and what have you.
I sent my mom I finally sent my mom my list the other day.
Still do that?
Yeah, she asked what she asked. She kept hounding me about it.
Oh,
so
okay.
She's like, send me a list of things you want.
What was on it?
Shoes, a socket set. I'm starting to get to boring adult stuff. Hoodies and sweatpants. The kind of exciting thing I asked for was a higher quality Xbox headset than the one I have right now. And then there was one other thing I don't remember. It wasn't that exciting though. Okay. Yeah.
My Situm's going to be the blue check marks. I mean, that's a pretty easy one right now. Yeah. Sorry, we could share this one if you want to speed things up, because I had to do something for the end after Boardwalk. But yeah, blue check marks. It's kind of in that hilarious zone where people are getting duped left and right. Our boy Scotty got it today when he thought Kyrie Irving was cut, so that's funny. And I'm just thinking now, so I'm in a bit of a dilemma. I mean, not to brag, I've had a blue check mark for about 3 years, but I was in a bind because my @ name is Inquire Shelby.
Yep.
And if I were to ever change that @ my blue check mark would go away.
You think so?
Well, it would have before. I don't know now. If you were to change your @ it would go away. The only reason is because, like, if I got another job somewhere in the future, it was like I obviously can't be Inquire Shelby.
Right. I think there'd be a process that would be extremely difficult for you to figure out, where it's like, I have a job at another newspaper. Can I just maintain my verification status and be like, prove that you work? How'd you get it in the first place?
So they sent out, USA Today sent out a Excel sheet, and all you did was put your username on it and wait. And you could have done your Instagram or your Facebook, but mine aren't really. I mean, I don't really use them except Twitter. So you literally just put your username on them. Yeah, and wait.
Twitter gets a lot of traction with
all that sports
with
shit.
the local high school fans.
Yeah.
Look at that steak Scotty just sent. Holy fuck. Scotty's rubbing it in our faces.
Oh, Jesus, and it's on like a wooden, like it hits.
I want to know what that mustard is on the left side there, whatever that is.
What's his side there?
That's a mash. That looks like mashed potatoes with some garnish and then some bread
right in the middle.
Yep,
he's living, dude. Fuck him.
She got some corn. It's calm.
Okay, so yeah, sit on blue check marks. We can share that. All right, best and worst bets of week 9. Disclosure: my best betting week in a while, since week 2.
Yeah.
The Jets, I got them at plus 13. They were down to 10.5. They win the game outright, so it doesn't really matter. New England minus 4.5. And it was a little refreshing because I don't like to go to Bengals games unless it's prime time because I want to watch the games. But with the way we've been going, I was kind of like, okay, let me get a week to reset. And so watching the games, I was just watching the score feed, and I was like, well, the Jets are going to at least cover. And then I had the Patriots -5 or whatever. That was never in doubt. So and then the two close games I had both ended up being pushes with the Rams and the Falcons. So yeah, it was a nice relaxing Sunday. I watched the Bengals fucking kill, and I put in a live bet on the Panthers at halftime. It covered because Evan McPherson missed a field goal, so that was nice. So good betting week. The one bet probably I'd take back is Carolina +7 because they lost by 1,000, and I was there. So yeah. All right, your best and worst.
My best bet, I think I'm gonna go with the Commanders because I bought a half point. Oh, that's the first time that's worked out for me.
Yeah, where it was actually
because you guys, we were talking about it at the wedding all weekend.
I texted Nathan during the ceremony.
Yeah,
Commanders +3.5. I mean, the bridesmaids were walking down the aisle. I texted Nathan +3.5.
And I woke up on Saturday and it was 3, and I'm like, oh no, I'm gonna get hooked if I don't buy this. So I splurged -120. We'll take it, and it hit. And that was coincidentally our Crossfire. So shame on me for that. Worst bet, you could say any number of the player props that I had in the Titans-Chiefs game.
Oof.
But I think the worst bet that I think I had was probably taking the Cardinals. What were they, -1.5 or something like that at home? They ended up losing by 10. Brutal. Brutal.
All right, let's move right into Boardwalk. So it was a good week for basically everyone in Boardwalk. I think you and I may have tied since my 2 pushes, those equal half a win each. So I don't know. But we both have the same number of wins right now. I just have 2 less losses because of the 2 pushes. So I'm 33-21-2. Zach, you're 33-23. Scotty had the worst week last week. He was 29-26-1. Busy with other things, obviously. Nathan 25-30-1. So Nathan's still the only one under 500. I have both of their picks. It will be hilarious coming back next week when Scotty has 5 party parlays again. Actually, might be 6. It'll be fun. He's 0-5 with them. Next week's week 11.
Had my lock of the week. What was my lock of the week scenario last week?
Green Bay.
Oh God.
That might be player props. The only one of the extra 4 that's over 500. He's hit 5 straight. All right.
Tease and thank you go for you last week.
It won.
What was it?
Seattle and Jacksonville.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
All right.
I'm pretty sure.
First game. Huh?
Sorry. Go ahead.
Minnesota 3.5-point dog or. Yes, dog. I wrote it down wrong. Thank you, Scotty, for correcting me.
Against Buffalo.
Totals 43.5 against Buffalo. Zach, what do you say?
This one could go a couple different ways because
this line could change.
By all accounts, putting out, unless it's one of those fake trying to trick you accounts. But Josh Allen feels like he's going to play, but he could wake up Sunday and. That was his elbow, right? Elbow's not feeling right. Is it his throwing? It's his throwing.
It was on the.
I picked up Case Keenum because I was scared. Yeah. And I play Scotty this week, who's projected 190 something points.
Oof.
So Well, I looked at my schedule after this though. Actually, a pretty easy schedule after this.
Okay.
So when I get through the gauntlet of you two, I'm just sad I had to play Scotty twice. That's kind of lame, given this is the year where he has a super team. Because I don't have to play you twice. Oh, God. I'm going to take the over 43.5. Is that what you had written down as?
Yes.
Has it changed since then? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that is maybe the first consensus across all 4. Everyone has the over.
We're all on the over.
All on the over.
Wow.
I think Buffalo still wins the game because I think Minnesota's overrated and it's just hasn't caught up to them. They should have lost the Washington game from all accounts.
How well? I want to look how well do dome teams do when they play at Buffalo, especially in
you'll
in
get
November
mixed results.
And,
you gotta if you trim it down to November or later. I don't know what the weather's supposed to be there, but it'd be something good. But we are all on the over. So next game, Denver, Scotty's team, 2.5-point dogs in Nashville. Low total. 37.5. 37
is where it's at now. Sorry.
No, you're good. 37, like Zach said, it's ticked up a half point.
And the line is ticked up a half point as well.
To 3. Oh. Okay, so Zach, start it.
I'll take. I almost said super confidently Tennessee minus 2.5, but I think it's still Malik Willis, which is why his total's so low. So I'm like, oh god. You know what? It's worked out for me in the past, so I'll go ahead and do it. I'm gonna take Tennessee Titans team total under 19.5. I know it's not a key number, but I feel like you have Denver's at 17.5, which is a key number, but it's also low. And
those are practically the same bets because
except
18 and 19 aren't going to hit.
Yeah, but I like the under 19. I think this is both of them have real low scoring, which I should probably take the under, but it makes me scared. One team could go off. I think if one of these teams is going to go off, you would think it would be probably the Broncos because they have a competent quarterback.
Right.
I mean, given his current tribulations.
Yeah, compared to Malik Willis.
Yeah. So, and it's plus money at under. I know it doesn't matter for this, but just if you're going to take the same bet, take the one with the better value, I guess. So, yeah. I'm going to go under 19.5 team.
I feel like I should have wrote this down like a half hour later because me, Scotty, Nathan, all on Denver. Obviously would have rather had 3, but I think Denver wins the game outright. That defense, I mean, one-dimensional team, you just... But then the Mike Vrabel effect is like they had no business going in Kansas City, making it that close, going overtime.
You're absolutely right.
I'll go with Tennessee. Let's get interesting. Tennessee minus 2.5. Laying money, laying points with Malik Willis. Should I crossfire Scotty or Nathan?
Nathan.
All right, yeah, because then I'll probably win. Yeah,
laying the lumber.
Laying the lumber.
2.5.
All right, the Browns are in Miami. Browns are 3.5-point dogs. The total's 49. Scotty's on the under. Nathan on the favorite. Dolphins. Zach.
He would. Yeah, I like this 49. Seems like an incredibly high number. They're like, oh, the Dolphins, they score all the time. They just had a high-scoring game last week with the Bears. So I like the zag of that going back towards a lower scoring performance, especially given Cleveland's defense. I don't think gets as much credit as it probably should. And I think Myles Garrett is going to give Tuanon some fits, some vote receiving. Write-in candidate received like 19,000 votes
in Florida.
So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm also on the under. I think it's just one of those games. The Browns, if they want to win the game, it's going to be a lot of Nick Chubb, a lot of Kareem Hunt, a lot of ball control with Jacoby Brissett, because I think it's correlated. If the under hits, I think the Browns have a better chance of covering. If the over hits, I think Miami blows them out. So it's favorite and over, dog and under. Yep. I'm going to lean under. Just based off the Browns coming off a bye, being rested. All right, next, Dallas, 4.5-point favorite in Green Bay. The total's 43. Zach.
I said it last week, and this is probably going to be the one where Rodgers has this fucking legacy game.
You going team total?
Legacy game. No, I'm going to go with Cowboys minus 4.5. Because I'm sick and tired of getting screwed by Rodgers. Because everyone's like, he's not going to lose two in a row. He's not going to lose 3 in a row. He's not going to lose 4 in a row. So, I'm going to go with Dallas.
Crossfire with Scotty, who is on the Packers.
Plus 4.5.
Nathan, under 43 for him.
That shit might get to 5. It's looking like it might.
Yeah, I'm also on Dallas.
Not that really matters, but...
Yeah. Couple football plays, yeah. I'm also on Dallas. All right, to Sunday night, the Chargers, 7-point dogs in San Fran. The total's 45.5. I'll start. Makes me feel like Chargers is the play.
Yeah, a whole touchdown?
Yeah. Maybe it's a thing about, like, you're giving Justin Herbert 7 points. I know his weapons are terrible. Yeah. The 49ers defense is so good.
Keenan Allen, I don't think it wants to come back.
But Verrett just tore his Achilles again for the Niners. Starting corner goes down. You're still getting 7 with Justin Herbert. They had no weapons last week. They were able to keep it close and win the game outright in Atlanta. It just seemed... Maybe it's Radish, but 7? I have to go with the Chargers. Well-coached team, I think, but they're a team still playing for something. These are 2 teams with playoff aspirations, if not division-winning aspirations. Hopefully the Chargers aren't looking ahead to Sunday night. Right. They host the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football. But yeah, I have to get points, get 7 with Herbert.
One battle at a time.
Yeah, and on the other end, you don't want to lay 7 with Jimmy G.
Yeah.
It's gross, but those are usually the ones that win. So
yeah.
All right, what do you have?
I'm going with the kind of on yours, but not Chargers team total over 18.5. I don't think they have a problem getting to 20 here and beyond, honestly. They're not getting a ton of respect. I know this is a stout San Francisco defense. By all accounts, they have the second, Bosa being second in sacks in the league, tied with Ravens' own Houston. But, yeah, I like the over 18.5 here. I think they're going to be able to move the ball a lot better than everybody thinks.
Okay. Bonus and lock time. Start with Nathan's bonus. He wants the Cardinals plus 1.5. Still riding that chain. I have not watched the new Hard Knocks.
I haven't either.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. We could do that Saturday night, unless you watch it before then.
I
probably watch it tomorrow.
I could, yeah. He likes the Cardinals plus 1.5. Scotty on Seattle. Team total over 20.5 in Munich against Tampa Bay at 9:30 Sunday. My bonus, Detroit, Chicago over 48.5. The Bears are a dead nut over team now after losing both starting linebackers, including Roquan Smith now with the Ravens. Detroit, that offense needs a get-right game. They're going to have it against this Bears defense that is not the monsters of the Midway. They're not an under team anymore. And then on the other flip side of that, Justin Fields is playing really well. Running the ball, set a regular season record for rushing yards by a quarterback. And now he gets a Lions defense that fool's gold kind of when they held Green Bay to 6. I mean, that offense has a lot of problems. Before that, Detroit couldn't stop a nosebleed, and I don't think they stop a nosebleed with Justin Fields running the ball. So give me over 48.5. This is a game I'm usually like bookmark the under for me. Detroit, Chicago, in the winter, bear weather, chilly weather.
Mm-hmm.
Chili is in the food, I mean.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah. But I like the over, 48.5. Your bonus.
I'm going to go with the Jacksonville Jaguars team total under 20.5. Last 3 games, they haven't hit that. I said that incorrectly. Last game they did, but that's because they played the Raiders. Raiders are notorious with giving up leads. Mm-hmm. 2 games before that, against the Broncos, couldn't put up more than 17. Against the Giants, couldn't put up more than 17. You look back at games like when they played Houston, couldn't score more than 6. So starting out, their team total, I think they're getting a little bit of juice because starting out they scored 22 points, 24 points in a shutout against the Colts, 38 against the Chargers. They managed to put up 21 against the Eagles, 27 against the Colts again. So I think that there's some value here with the under. I think against the Chiefs defense again does not get very much credit usually because they're in a position where they don't have to play hard-nosed defense. Mm-hmm. Plus their secondary is a little bit iffy. But I don't think, the generational talent that is Trevor Lawrence is going to, I don't think he gets there.
Okay.
So that's my bonus.
Feeding into that game, both Scotty and Nathan laying the lumber with their locks. Chiefs minus 9.5. Your lock.
My lock is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers minus 2.5.
Ooh.
I think
spicy.
The Seattle train is going to
seem like
it's got to stop somewhere, and what better way to do it in going overseas. I think Tom Brady has had so much experience just playing. I don't think that that travel and the environment is gonna get to him as much as it'll get to some of these players on the Seahawks.
It does seem like there's gonna be like a time coming up to fade them,
mm-hmm.
and a lot of people were on Arizona last week.
Right.
Seattle went in and took care of business. Credit to them, especially after they beat the Giants. That was a bigger game than anyone realized.
That was a great game.
Yeah,
I bet on in that game.
Oh yeah, we won big. All right, my lock. Colts Raiders under 41.
Mm-hmm.
This is a game I would have loved to take the Raiders at minus 6. It's a 5-point spread now. But now Darren Waller and Hunter Renfrow both on the IR. By the way, with Hunter Renfrow, if I should mention his name, you should be like puking for that overtime fumble. I mean, that was gross. But yeah, I like this. Sam Ehlinger on the other side, Derek Carr with no weapons on the other side, maybe a lot of Josh Jacobs, maybe a lot of Devontae Adams, but in general, like this game to be ugly, muck it up, and whatever the Colts are doing with their coaching situation, that seems like a secret tank. Mm-hmm. Like, oh my gosh, get a guy who's never been a coach at the NFL level to come and be the head coach, and now a guy calling plays who's only done it in practice. So that's odd to me. All right, there's your Boardwalk picks. Tease and thank you. Got back on track last week. We'll see if we can get 2 in a row here. Going with Denver, plus 8.5. I guess 9 technically now, since it's 3.
Yeah.
So we'll go to 9 with it. Plus 9. And is Detroit still 2.5? 3. Okay, so Detroit plus 9 too. So not exactly a long teaser, but still through those key numbers. Denver and Detroit at plus 9. That's the teaser of the week. Yeah. All right, Zach's Lock of the Week of the Century.
Lock of the Week of the Century, I would go with Raiders spread, but because they are so notorious in that second half, I'm going to go with their first half spread minus 2.5. A lot of the same reasoning is there with what you just said. I mean, you think about Waller being out and, losing Renfro, but Renfro hasn't had much of an impact. But given the Colts on the road, new coach, untested shit. Let's just say it. Right now, Ellinger is shit. He could end up getting better. Who knows? But he sucks right now. And I think in the first half, I don't see the Raiders going in with Daniel Carlson lead of 3 at least. So. And
what do the Raiders do? They've had the most 17-point leads of anyone other than the Eagles. So they get out to big leads first half. There you go. Nathan's player prop, Pfeiffer's player prop, which is 5-3. Nick Chubb, over 84.5 rushing yards against the Dolphins. Browns will try to muck it up down in the Sunshine State this week. Next week we'll have 6 party parlays. So I'll write this down now. Next week is week 11, so 6 party parlays. We will need 3 teas and thank yous. We'll need 2 Zach's Lock of the Week of the Century, and we'll need 2 player props from Nathan. Okay. So now, lastly, I just saw this popped up on Twitter while we were doing earlier stuff, but it was a bracket. Barstool tweeted it. It was, what is the longest wait? So it's 16 things. What's your longest wait? And we'll see what we come up with. What's the worst thing to wait for? So in the first round, we have the DMV versus waiting for your Uber.
DMV is worse.
DMV is worse. I agree.
Usually, because if you're waiting, at least you're with your friends.
Yeah.
Right? At least usually.
And you're drunk. You don't even have the right. I mean, maybe at the beginning of the night it's different, but you're so excited to go out.
Right.
All right. So that one was an easy one. The next one is hearing back from colleges versus waiting for medical results.
Ooh.
I applied to one school, and I did early admission. So it wasn't that bad for me. So I guess the medical results for me.
Yeah, I was already in with mine. I never had to wait on medical results.
Same.
But I went to Wright State, so to get in there, all you have to do is open the door. So, yeah.
Go with medical results?
Yep.
I feel like that's going to lose in the next
Because I've waited on medical results for family members, and that sucks.
Yes.
Like waiting to hear Grandpa had a inoperable brain tumor, but all they had to do was just rip his eyeball out.
We're not a political podcast.
Right. Political.
All right. Next. Going through TSA versus line at the amusement park.
TSA
for sure. I think it's
if closer. The line is long.
Right.
Yeah.
Because this is a 5-12 matchup.
Yeah.
Line at an amusement park is not a 12 seed. I think it should be higher.
Yeah.
Because it does suck sometimes because it's 100-something degrees and you're just...
But I think you expect a line at an amusement park more than you expect a line at TSA, especially if you buy your tickets for an early flight or late flight, and you get there and the line is still long. It's I had to get up early, or I'm tired as shit for being up too late, taking a red eye, or up at the ass crack of dawn to drive 2.5 hours to an airport, or it's I thought this airport was supposed to be in Cincinnati. It's actually in.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
In the butthole of Kentucky.
So I agree TSA is the pick here. But I will say I've only been on 2 flights. Well, 4. There and back. Was when we went to Vegas, when we left Columbus, was that one of the more smoother? Because it was it was not a wait at all to get through security. And then we almost missed the flight, but it was the line was empty.
Right. Just because I didn't expect them to be on time.
Oh, they were early. It was difficult.
Right.
All right. Next, waiting to open presents on Christmas or waiting for a significant other to get ready.
If you ask me, I mean, obviously.
Right.
Now it's just a matter of
other.
Yeah. Right now it's going to be that. Although I still, maybe not the last few years, but I think it kind of stopped maybe 2-3 years ago. I still had trouble going to sleep the night before because we go all of us kids go to with our significant others, go to my parents on Christmas Eve, and we wake up Christmas Eve, open presents together with my nieces and nephew and my little brother, and get to see that. But also, my parents actually do get us like a lot of gifts still, and there's a lot of stuff to open. It's the whole ambiance of it. It's like you get that, but I don't have to have kids, and I can just see.
Exactly.
Yeah, I get to have that experience, so that's cool. And then we have Christmas Day to go be with our significant others' family. So.
Yeah, I mean. I don't have the.
But yeah, she takes fucking forever to get ready.
Well,
so
I don't
definitely
have the significant other, and I don't have the.
If you were like, you woke up in the morning, wake your dad up at like 7 a.m. Like, did you get me any Chucky milk?
Yeah, he would already be up.
Yeah.
But, all right. The next is getting off a plane versus waiting for George R. Martin to finish a book.
That book.
The book
for
one?
me, yeah,
Okay.
definitely for sure, because it's been.
That's a 15 seed beating a 2.
Yeah. Well, if you're a fan, you understand that.
I didn't get shoved in lockers as a kid.
Neither did I. I picked on Chase of the worst. I was a straight up bully to that kid, and I still like it. No. So he's written 2 books since he was supposed to come out with the one that's still not out yet, and he's like right now. I think the last one came out in 2008. I think. So he's written 2 books since then. It's like, why aren't you spending this time writing the book that everybody wants? I mean, that book is really good, but why aren't you spending more time on that? And it's like, right now, just a few months ago, he said, I'm 3/4 of the way done with this book. And then he's got another one that's supposed to come out. It's like, you are going to be dead, because he's not young and he's overweight. So it's like, this guy might die before these books are finished.
I was just thinking, he's 74, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of, like, if it was well known like this, enough to where, like, people are talking about how long it takes you to write a book, that would be the worst, like, knowing that as you're trying to write it. Like,
Right.
it needs to be finished. Like,
Well, yeah, and it's like he had, like, back when the show was coming out and everybody's like, are you going to release this book before the show is over? Because the show started in 2011, and by that point it had been like 3 years or whatever since the last book had come out, and we get to the end of the show in 2019 it still didn't come out.
yeah. Let me just say, waiting to get off a plane does fucking suck.
It does.
Especially when, like, your fucking legs are dead from a shitty flight on a shitty airline. But you've convinced me enough. I'll agree with George R. R. Martin. Last three, and then we'll save the second round for next time. So next up we have last hour of shift or school. For you, it's both.
Right.
Versus waiting for your food. I'm gonna go shift.
Yeah, last hour.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it's been a while since that. But, like, sometimes, like, for instance, last night I didn't have a shift, but, like, the soccer game I was at went to overtime. So I was like, and it could have went into another overtime and then penalty kicks. So I do kind of get it. All right, 2 more. Waiting to pee. And the photo they have next to waiting to pee is Austin Powers when he's frozen. That's funny. And then waiting for a video to buffer. These are 2 weak. These are 2 weak seeds here. Waiting to pee versus waiting for video to buffer. It's been a while since I've been like, oh my god, I gotta pee so fucking bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're in a car or something. Like,
well, I don't really have to worry about that. Well, it is annoying because at school the reception's so bad because that building's seems to be lined with lead or something, because the reception there it sucks, and I'm sitting there trying to watch TikToks on my lunch break and to just pass the time, and it sucks. But here my internet's so good that I don't really have to worry about it.
yeah.
But yeah, I would say waiting for the video, because I don't really get into a lot of situations where
All right, it's video to buffer.
I'm an adult man, so I don't have to pee every 10 seconds.
But, like, a sidebar to this is, like, if you're watching a YouTube video on your phone and the ad plays perfectly and then the video buffers from the jump,
Yeah.
you're like, well,
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing
Let's
here?
get this together. All right, this is a 3 verse 14. Previews at the movies or waiting for a text back?
Waiting for a text back.
That's easy because, like, I
like
enjoy the
previewing.
previews.
Yeah, I enjoy it, yeah. Yeah, it gives me time to finish all my snacks before the movie starts.
It also gives me time to be like, I'm not watching this Marvel movie.
Oh yeah, it's like seeing the trailer, but like as soon as it ends, you look over at each other like, that movie looks like it's gonna suck.
Like, I see the Marvel logo and Zach's like, I'm just like, oh my god, fucking nerd. Oh my god, these fucking nerds. All right, we'll get to the second round. next time on the Hopeless Fan Podcast next week. We'll have Scotty back. We'll have all those teas and thank yous. Maybe I'll come up with something else. Let's have maybe a bigger show next week. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, enjoy it getting dark early, guys.
We're just trying to hold down the fort over here, bridging the gap till the real star of the show comes back.
Is that our show?
That's our show.
All right, here we go. There's a little place where the sun sleeps late and pulls himself a shot at tequila. It's a little place called Pleasure Island. That's where I'd like to feel ya. It's easy to find just beyond the last wave. Dolphins and whales are up mating. Sail all day and all night and then take a hard ride. That's where I'll be awaiting. Pleasure Island, island of pleasure. No need to stop and think. Pleasure Island, a beautiful treasure. Come on down and have a drink.